Welcome back. First off, thank you to everyone who joined me last Sunday in the live training on addressing your blind spots with using your daily habit tracker in maintenance to-dos, and where I talked in depth about the 3 different to-do lists that everyone needs. If you missed that live training, and you haven't taken the Habit Tracker Workshop, you can get to those in the description box below, so I can still help you. Well, today we're talking about the art of buy-in, meaning how do we get buy-in from other people? And do you need this only if you're running a business or you work in sales? Well, I believe we are always selling ourselves. Sometimes selling ourselves down the river, sometimes selling ourselves short, but we also want to get buy-in from other people just in our everyday interaction, because that is how we build and cultivate relationships. So it's not just coming from a professional place when we're seeking buy-in. There is an art to buy-in, and the biggie here is active listening. So active listening to achieve buy-in. And this essentially comes from how we show up. I say all the time, believe people when they show you who they are, but believe me, people are believing you. In today's message, I walk you through a skill that I've observed in another person, and I admire this skill and I study this person when I'm around them and watch them interacting, because they get buy-in so well. He articulates it so well. So it inspires me to elevate myself in that area. I will also share with you where I'm really good and really strong at getting buy-in. And then stay tuned, because I also have some Friday funnies that will be in today's message. But the biggest takeaway is to capitalize on these buy-in skills, because we are always selling. We are always wanting to be received well and not rejected. And what you do will dictate that. I will share that today's message is actually piggybacking off of a message on Instagram stories, and I did a follow-up. So you don't have the original message that I'm doing the follow-up on, but today's message is so strong, it was important for me to share it here. So without further ado, let's dive in. And it's long and lengthy, so please multitask. This is a time to multitask and get something else done. I always encourage, if it works for you at this time, get a cardio done. If not, make a note to watch it later while you're doing a cardio session, because it's a win-win. You are gaining, expanding, and increasing in 2 areas. Okay, let's dive into the message. Tracy, keep this short. Tracy, keep this short. Tracy, keep this short. Yes, that is a struggle. Tracy, keep this short. You don't have time to go long here. Yes, okay, maybe final day. If not today, tomorrow. And look at the glow. That's called skincare. There's always skincare going on. Always supplements all day long, skincare all day long. If you want to know what a person values, look where they spend their time and their money. Paul has been coaching, doing some financial coaching, okay, not advising, but coaching, finances, budgeting, investments with a particular client. And this client, who also has worked with me, is not currently, she doesn't know where her money's going. Which I'm not laughing in a bad way. I think a lot of people can resonate with that. It takes time to know where things are going, right? It takes time. I get that. And she is stretched. She is stretched. But I believe we all are stretched. But I record everything I spend. So I had a hair appointment yesterday. That was recorded in the hair category on my spreadsheet. I stopped at the grocery store yesterday. That was recorded under the grocery category on my spreadsheet. So I know exactly what I've spent this year. and it's all categorized. And I have a lot of categories. So I literally have nails is to itself. Hair is to itself. Okay, I'm already getting long and I'm already talking about something that I wasn't coming on here to talk about. I'm so sorry. But I did share with her, if you want to know what it's very wise to know where your money's going. It's very wise to have a system of recording. But if you do record, if you want to know where someone puts their value, look at where they put their time and look at where they put their dollar, and it will show up. And I said, you don't want to see my skincare, my skin, all skin. So this would be at-home products. I don't have at-home tools for skincare, but at-home products and in-office is a category. You don't want to see that, and you don't want to see my supplements. Well, maybe you do. Maybe you do. Well, skin is our largest organ. So it is, people don't view it from the health perspective, but caring for your skin aligns with health. So to me, the big picture is I value my health so I take supplements. I take care of my skin. I take care of my skin on my body. I value my health, and it will show. But yes, I have so many categories. I have a grandkids category. So if I buy something, even for our home, but it's really for the grandkids, like a toy or a book or even updated cups or whatever, it does go under the grandkids category. And this is great because at the end of the year, when I do my annual inventory of Tracy, take stock, I can look at that document and say, is there anything I would like to shave? I would like to shave my spending. Okay, and some things are a season. We've done some home updates and decor updates, and I'll have a video soon with some at the end of the month with more recent purchases. I'm trying to finish that front bedroom that I've had to wrap my head around the color of paint that I chose. But I know it's just getting it decorated, so I've been working on that. That's kind of a little bit of a season, so there's been a lot of expenses with that, but that's probably not going to travel into 2026. Well, probably will, because I'll probably be updating it. There's just updates that need to be done after, 24, 25 years of living here. But it gives you a bird's eye view so that you can decide where you want to shave cost. What's low, though, for me is fashion and fashion and accessories, because I don't place as much value there. It's kind of more materialistic for me. And I don't get dressed with clothing except lounge clothes and accessories often enough to justify that expense. So I'm not a mindless spender, but it helps when you're seeing what you're spending. But supplements and skin, woo. What I'm really here for is kind of spinning off the video that I shared with you yesterday about really how to connect with people in a way that gives buy-in. And I shared that we are all in sales of some sort because we're selling ourselves. Your doctor is in sales. He is selling himself, because if you don't trust him, if you don't respect him, if you don't connect with him, you won't choose him. Your dentist, teachers, they're in the they're in the business of sales. A lot of teachers are requested or not requested, right? Those that are requested somehow through their sales approach are getting their leg in the door to be the hot teacher. I don't mean hot teacher in that way, but the
the prominent teacher to select, right? So, or maybe not. Maybe you're just conforming to the noise of the world in feeling I need to ask for that teacher too. I don't know. But at the end of the day, we are all in the business of sales. You are selling yourself in every conversation that you have, from little to big, to people you know, to people you. I recently shared a email that I received where I think it was Cherie proposed a question to me about sharing a video on pearls of wisdom. And she actually shared a couple of examples of pearls of wisdom that I've shared. And I've been working on that. Actually, yesterday, I had like an hour drive to get to my therapy. And in my phone while driving, I was using Siri, and I had the notes app up, and I was brain dumping while I was driving. So I was multitasking in that way. But so I am working on that. And I have 10 right now. And I would like to do maybe a series, but the 10 I have right now are more kind of just life pearls of wisdom, not necessarily in a specific topic or category. Oh, I'm so bummed. The enemy's at work. The enemy doesn't want me on here. My last clip was so good and it didn't upload. So now I don't know where I left off. So consider what I'm going to share with you, a pearls of wisdom. And again, spinning off of, and I could be repeating myself because I don't know where I got left off, but in yesterday's YouTube video that I shared, the art of getting buy-in from other people, which we're always getting buy-in. We're always getting buy-in in all interactions with people. I have my 3 grandchildren today. I will either get buy-in or I won't. What does that mean? Well, it's all dependent on how I show up. If I show up in a negative attitude or like I'm being bothered, that is already giving out negative energy. I'm not going to get buy-in. Well, I want buy-in from my grandchildren. I want have positive memories of me. My Gigi was always present. She was always playful. She was polite. She was energized. She was happy. I want that memory, kind of like raising children. How do you want your children to remember you when they're an adult? Oh, she was always in a bad mood. She was always complaining. She was always negative. She was always telling me what to do. Advice. We're going to get into that in a bit, but not today. Not today, Tracy. Not today. But we're always marketing. We're always selling. And we're either going to get buy-in or we're not. I'm going to share a common, I consider it a skill that most people don't deliver in. And I think it goes a long way to polish up this skill. Now, it is a skill that I'm really good at. So if you want this skill, mimic those who are good at it. Maybe you'll think it's overrated, but I assure you, if you're looking for buy-in, and you may not get buy-in today, but you may get buy-in down the road, okay? We're always in sales, always. That's why be nice to everyone, because you never know when that person is going to circle back. You'd be amazed. I'm 54 years old, and I have had numerous times where a person has circled back in my life. They're at this event or whatever, and thankfully, I had buy-in in the first time I met them. And maybe they did too. That's where you want to be. So what I'm going to walk you through, consider it kind of the same concept of what you observed in yesterday's video, in what my daughter Haley is so skilled at, and her boyfriend Vin. He would never ever want me to share this because he would never want any credit. Neither one of them. My alarm was going off. They are so humble. They would never want this credit. So I hope she's not watching, because she'll probably go, Mom, don't ever give me that type of credit again. Which speaks volumes right there, right? No wonder you get buy-in. They are so much about other people, never about themselves. You have to prod prod to get them to talk about something in their life because they're so busy prodding you and just spinning off of it. But Vin is just, it is incredible. And because of this, not because of anything else, it's all this. He has just rose and rose and rose and rose. I mean, he recently had to speak at a huge event where they had makeup there, photographers, everything. He didn't get there by chance. He didn't get there by fate. He got there not because of what he does in work. It's this skill, what you witness in that video is why I believe how he has gotten to where he has. Same with Haley. How has she gotten to where she is in business, in working in sales? It is literally the people skills. Yes. I need to throw a picture in here that I snapped of Vin when we were in Charlevoix talking to the skipper of the Sunset Cruise boat. This is everywhere we go. It's just a sight. That Boston accent and all. Okay, and he's got one. He's got a strong one. I mean, he grew up there. So this would be taking that concept of speaking, but it's in conversing through emails, through text messages, through comments, YouTube comments, Instagram comments, Facebook comments. I'm not on any other platforms. And people neglect really reading what someone puts, and they just come back with their guns on one thing, either what the person's asking for or on one negative comment or something that could have been perceived negative. They're going to pounce on that. Let me just back up on the Vin thing. When he spoke at this big event, I think it was in Florida somewhere, Haley was telling me that there was photographers there and everything. And she's like, yeah, I'll have to send you a picture. She would never, ever send it in the family chat. Never. It's crickets with those two on anything big in their life. They would never share any new news, which I wish they would. I'll say that because I'm your parents, but she will one-on-one, but she never sent me a picture, and it's like, I want that picture. Like, it's because that's how they are. They're such humble people. And it just and again, don't forget what I shared last week, I think it was last week, what true humility is. True humility is not looking at where's my card? True humility is not looking at yourself less. No, I'll grab it. It came to me. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. It came to me because of him. Thank you, Lord. I could cry because he does stuff like that all the time. And I call those little subtle rewards. So thank you. I know you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, how petty, but you'd be amazed. This is me all day long. Thank you, Lord. Just thank you for the littlest things to the biggest. True humility is not, oh gosh, am I losing it again? Now the devil's intervening. True humility is not thinking of yourself less. It's thinking less about yourself, right? True humility is not looking at yourself less. No. True humility is not thinking of yourself less. True humility is not thinking less of yourself. It's thinking of yourself less. I have it on a note card. I don't think it's in my pile right here, but true humility is not thinking less of yourself. It's thinking of yourself less. Because if you're thinking of yourself less, you're thinking about the other person. Okay, so a skill that I have, I want to improve in speaking, like I use Vin as a great example, but I am really good in correspondence where I type, okay, texting, email, comments. It's kind of paying attention to each sentence. So in that video that I shared, he talked about you have to be an active listener to be able to execute in the skill that the speaker displayed. And that's where Vin is really good. He doesn't miss a sentence. And even if a person says 3 sentences, he is picking up on all of that. And he is never going to come back and say he went there. Unless it gets tossed to him, hey, have you ever been there? Because he's been everywhere. They both have traveled the world. But he would never come back and say that. You may never even know that he traveled to the same place you did, went to the same restaurant, and stayed at the same hotel. You may never know that because he's just all about you, right? He puts him as insignificant because this person is sharing. That came out just how I wanted it to. You never know in these clips, but I love just the natural and raw on here. Wrap it up, Tracy. Wrap it up. Do I need to wipe my phone? Hold on. I keep a little dust cloth right here because my phone is always dirty. Okay. This was a direct message that came in overnight. I'm going to do a similar thing where I'm going to walk you through what most people do and then how to do it. If you want to polish up in this way, right? Always think about credibility. You want your credibility, get good at these skills. Hi, Tracy. Thank you for all you do. I learned so much from your channel. Of the washcloth your cleaning lady used. I remember you mentioned from Costco. I would really appreciate it if you could mention that, but I can't find it on your empties video. Keep doing that. God bless you and your family. Okay, so what most people do in texting, email, and in comment replying, most people, and I would say from my observation, I almost want to say all people, but we won't do that. Most people are only remembering one thing, what she's asking for. But yet she paid me appreciation and compliments. She's appreciating me. Thank you for all you do. I mean, do we want to dismiss that? We all want to be seen. We all want to be heard. We all want to be understood. But then when we are, we dismiss it, right? We dismiss it. We miss the boat. We miss the opportunity for buy-in, right? So we already know she learned so much from my channel. She clearly has a positive view of me. So do I need to prove myself? But if you always keep in the back of the mind that you are in sales, okay, so it's not that you have an agenda to sell a product or service, you're selling yourself and you can actually elevate that for people. So don't dismiss these things. Tracy, thank you for all you do. I learned so much from your channel. Then she goes into what she's looking for. So I want to provide her with what she's looking for, but I don't want to dismiss the fact that she literally took time out of her day to leave me and pay me this compliment. I mean, we're dismissing this. Acknowledge that from people. But it happens all the time. Go back through your phone and look at your text messages and look for somewhere someone shared something with you but then asked a question. Or maybe someone shared some nice nuggets, but then they had a little bit of, for example, thank you for coming to the party and bringing the dish to pass. It was so lovely. Everyone enjoyed it. I wish you could have stayed longer. You know how most people would reply to that? They would see I wish you would have stayed longer, maybe as a negative. Oh no, I'm a people pleaser. What do they think of me? And they're only going to follow up with that. They're not going to come back and say, thank you. We really enjoyed ourselves. I'm delighted to hear that my dish to pass went over so well. I apologize I couldn't stay longer, but I needed to get home because we had the grandkids coming over bright and early the next morning. Can't wait to see you again soon. Take care. Right? Right? That's buy-in. That's buy-in. Oh, I think this video is worthy for saving for YouTube. I'll take a poll in a minute if I remember. Okay, so let's see how I do it. And again, I'm strong in this area of conversing in this way. Where I'm not strong, I'm just going to share with you. I am weak. Yep, weak. Tracy is weak. It's okay. Did you know that God loves our weaknesses? I can talk more about that if you want me to. Let me know. And I don't know when I'll do it, but God loves our weaknesses, and there's a whole reason, and I know that. So I am not a failure. I am weak in this area. But I have something called tenacity. I have perseverance. I have persistence. And I have a great mentor who I am watching in action, and he doesn't even know it. But when I'm around her, or when I'm around him, I just take mental notes or notes on my phone, and he doesn't even know it because he probably wouldn't take credit. Now, I do have some limitations or disadvantages to be skilled when conversing verbally with people in the way that like Vin does. I will never be to that caliber. I don't have that lofty goal, but there's a reason why, and I'll try to remember to mention it here. But let's see how I do this. So I start right at the top. First of all, she said, thank you for all you do. I'm going to come back. Thank you for the supportive message. Then she says, I learned so much from your channel. Oh, let me back up here. Thank you for the supportive message. It truly means a lot. I'm delighted to hear you are learning so much from my content. So now I'm on sentence number 2. Then she goes into the Costco, the whatever. The WOTH, and then I go in to help her out, right? Because I am in a business of service. So are you. We serve others. Serve others before yourself. One of our 5 purposes of life, if you don't know the 5 purposes of life, hold on, because you'll learn those this fall if you want to do a book study with me. One of the purposes for everyone's life, every one of you watching and listening today, one of the purposes of your life is serving others, servanthood. Now, it looks different for different people, and I'll go into that when we do the book and Bible study. But here we go. I'm going to serve her by providing her with the information. The washcloth I shared in a more recent video is not used by my cleaning lady, but rather it is my dishcloth. They are a gem. The website is Wet It. I will share it below. They have so many beautiful prints. A client of mine sent me a box she bought at Costco. You can get to that here. Now, this is a screenshot because I didn't want her name in there, but I provided her with 2 links. One was to the Wet It website, which is not an affiliate link. I get no kickback. And the other one is Costco, which is also not an affiliate link. So if she were to use those websites, make a purchase and check out, I don't get anything. Which is perfectly fine because that's not the agenda. The agenda is in serving others. The agenda is keeping the credibility that I've already established with her, keeping the trust that she has in me that I will execute in providing her. Do I miss things at times? Yes, I'm human. And my alarm keeps going off because I haven't shut, and I just took my vitamins. That was a reminder for my supplements. I need to wrap it up. I know that I provided enough details as I do for you to kind of understand what I'm saying. So pay more attention to what people are saying, clearly, active listening, but active reading and listening when you are receiving text messages, which is what you're probably receiving the most, emails, that could be neck and neck depending on the industry you're in or what your job looks like. Most of you probably aren't. Well, some of you are probably on Facebook or Instagram and could be posting and getting comments. But it's kind of like, sorry, why am I getting this under the thing burp? Because you're a human being, Tracy. Like, we do make bodily noises, right? It's inevitable. I know my point has been made. Here would be another example. Client texts me and says, hi, Tracy, I loved yesterday's Instagram stories. So many great nuggets. Can I reschedule next Wednesday's session to the following Wednesday? Okay, what do most people do? Now, I know what I do. The first thing I do is I look at my calendar and I see, am I available on that Wednesday? So let's just say I am. Same time, okay? 1 week out. I reply. I hit the box to reply. Most people will come back and say, yep, the following Wednesday works. I'll go ahead and process the reschedule, which I do say that. But before I say that, what did she say first? Do you remember? Were you active listening? She said, I loved yesterday's Instagram stories. So many great nuggets. That came before her question. She acknowledged me, and I'm going to toss the ball back. I am going to come back and say, thank you for the feedback on yesterday's stories. I'm delighted to hear that you gained so many nuggets. Then I'm going to proceed with what she is requesting. Okay, the next clip, I just went to my camera roll. The next clip will be a picture of Vin, my future. Hopefully someday he'll be a future son-in-law. Right now, there's no engagement, there's no ring on it, but we're hopeful. It'll happen. We just get on with it, people. Because I'm trying to plan my next couple years. You know, when you're a planner, it's difficult with people that are more spontaneous. Just come on, please. I'm trying to plan at least next year's agenda. But I know it's coming. We got to zip it, right? Moms, just zip it. I've said it enough. Like, I'm ready to plan my 2026 and 2027. So let me know what's going on. I'm not getting buy-in on that one. But the next picture, after my next, oh gosh, I am digging a hole. I sure hope Haley doesn't watch my stories today. I don't think she watches unless we're doing something with but I have grandkids today and she may want to see what they're doing. Oh no, I'm digging myself a hole. I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry, I'm sharing. Because she's so private. They're so private. If you follow her, you would know how private they are. But anyway, the next clip is I had to capture it because this is what I witness every time we're with Haley and Vin. He is talking to the skipper on the sailboat that we took when we were on our family vacation. We were on the Sunset Cruise, and this just paints it all. It's just a beautiful picture of him in action. Always and again. And look at the expression on the skipper's face. Clearly buy-in took place. Now, did Vin need to get buy-in? I mean, is there anything that's going to come out of this? Is there anything transactional that's going to come out of this? And that's what most people think. And I am so guilty of that. I am so guilty of that. Like, I never see who are you? I never see mind my own business. But you never know when it's going to circle back. The other thing that I've observed just in listening is all the things I've learned about other people that I'm missing out on because I don't do this. Now, I'll do it if I'm drinking. I'm just being honest here. We got to be transparent. Tracy's transparency. Oh, if I'm sitting up at the bar having a couple of drinks, I've got friends everywhere. I've got numbers. And it's not pretty. I know I'm not alone. I just had a conversation with my stepsister a few days ago on that. Like, when you wake up the next day and you're like, who is Teresa? And then you look at what they texted you, and they texted you like some hotel they stayed at in another place in the world. Like, how did we get there? I know I'm not alone. Hey, we have to have some Friday funnies here, and I'm just being transparent. All the more reason, just don't drink. Just don't drink. Yeah, that ship may be sailing. I can't anymore. I can't. The body reactions are just over the top. I'm killing myself, even with one glass, because we've tested it. I'm working with a practitioner, and we're doing some testing, and sure enough, half glass in, edema. I'm a swollen machine. I'm clearly allergic to alcohol. Okay, so I'll wrap it up with, why am I at a disadvantage? Well, what I just shared. I'm not in quality conversations enough to maybe expand my knowledge of other people, something you'll want to do, something Vin does. I'm also, an advantage that Vin has as well, but I'm not giving all kudos to this, is he follows the news. He travels the world. He is an avid reader. He is an avid movie watcher. So he has he's fluent on sports. I mean, he's a lacrosse coach traveling, like he's somewhere this weekend because he's a college, high school, college, I don't know, travels, I don't know. It's in his background, and he played lacrosse in college. So he's knowledgeable of the news. Don't know anything going on. Just never know what's going on unless Paul tells me, because Paul stays on top of it. But he shares very little. He's just, most of what he has, it's pretty insignificant. He did tell me Bitcoin had a big run last night, though. So I emailed him this morning and said, please share what Bitcoin did overnight, because I'd like to see where I'm at with Bitcoin. Yes, I've never sold. I've held. And boy, has it paid off. I have already doubled that Bitcoin. Some of the altcoins, not so good, but I've been holding. I haven't touched my Bitcoin. Boy, I've wanted too many times. That's a topic for another day. But Bitcoin going strong. So I don't have that. But, well, Paul will let me know if something that I would want to know is worth it, right? Worth my time. I don't watch movies. I don't watch shows. And I'm not an avid reader. I am an avid reader in biblical-based stuff, which has expanded my knowledge, has expanded my relationship with the Lord. So I do have that, and I could speak that pretty fluent because of the work I've put in. But don't watch the news, don't watch movies, don't watch shows, not worldly, have not traveled all over the world. I have been out of the country, but I don't have enough. I'm amateur here. I'm amateur. I could speak on some areas because I visited enough to speak on it, like where we go for our family trip or whatever. But you catch me. That puts me at a disadvantage. Does that make me want to get more knowledgeable in those areas? Again, sports would be another one that he would be fluent in. I don't. I really don't, because it takes time, and I'm just not willing to put in that time. But that doesn't mean that I can't brush up and be better at these skills, and you can too. Oh gosh, she's back. You just know it. You just know it. Back again. I just got done polishing off breakfast, and I had toast. Yes, bread. Yep, me. With butter on it and honey. No shame. And then I had 3 egg whites and 1 whole egg. So I had a nice, hearty, hefty, life-affirming, health-affirming breakfast. Okay. I just want to share real quick. Wrap it up, Tracy. Make it quick. One of my clients actually emailed me in the morning yesterday, 6:29 a.m. one day ago. I'm just now getting to her email. Just yesterday, so much, and then this morning I was going to do it, but got on here. You know the routine. She has a video suggestion, but I'm not even going to do a video. I'm just going to share it on here. I already responded to her, so I will read it. Someone just rolled out of bed. Retirement life. Someone just rolled out of bed. Like the grandkids are going to be here in an hour. Someone just rolled out of bed. Okay. God love retirement life. Okay, so I will read what she sent me, and I'm just going to read my reply, and we're going to wrap it up here. We're not going to probably do a video, but I do appreciate the video suggestions from this client. She's amazing. Good morning, Tracy. Here is a video suggestion. Where to begin when you need to detox your body and mind from all things unhealthy and begin the healing process from PTSD-like symptoms. Just a thought. Have a good day. Here's my reply, and I'm going to end it there. Good morning, my faithful, beautiful friend. That's what I put. You know who you are. Love her. I appreciate the video suggestion to begin, because again, she asked where to begin, right? To begin, make all, that's uppercase, all of it. Make all choices that you feel good about and don't stop. Be a person of your word to you. This alone will mitigate or even combat the symptoms you are experiencing. Pay attention to the enemies: food, alcohol, mindless distraction, whatever it is. Everyone is different. I mean, what are we numbing with, right? What are we numbing with? Only read, watch, and consume life-affirming content and get rooted and grounded in your faith. Now, she is a Christ follower. She has a beautiful relationship with the Lord, but that doesn't necessarily mean in the thick of her symptoms, she is rooted and grounded in her faith, okay? We are not always rooted and grounded because we are living a human experience in a fallen world, and we will fall short. God actually loves when we fall short. I know, you're sitting there saying, what? Yeah. Well, once you get rooted and grounded in faith, you will know that He loves our weaknesses. He loves when we fall short. Yeah. Stomach that one. Digest that one. Again, you're not a failure. So she needs to get rooted and grounded in her faith. Amen.
Well, there you go. I hope you picked up some skills today, or maybe identified some weaknesses you have that you could mimic other people in that are strong in that area. And maybe you found some areas where you're strong and you can help others, like I have been calling to do here. Again, if you missed last Sunday's live training, take advantage of that and the Habit Tracker workshop to set you up for success going out of the rest of the year. A couple of other things coming up is I have a Bible study that I am inviting you to do with me starting September 1st. All the details on that study, how you can get involved, what you will gain from this study, where I will be present with you throughout the entire study. All of that by tapping that link that will direct you to the webpage with more information and to get registered. And next month, I have my live All Things Beauty event where we're talking all things beauty, what I've done, what I love, what I wouldn't do, what new products and treatments have I incorporated, what supplements do I take to have supple skin and to reverse some of the signs of aging. There will be a link to join me for that. Also, what is coming up is Quarter 3, 3-week intense, which is the program that I have been running for years, and for good reason, because it's helped so many of you. And that is a quarterly program I run 4 times per year, once each quarter. Quarter 3 of 2025 starts Monday, September 8th, to help get you started on a journey of where you would like to be. That is 21 days of choosing your hard. Tap the link for 3-week intense. It will direct you to the program page, and please, please read the testimonials. They are priceless. I also have an Instagram stories titled 3-week intense, or 3WI, with testimonials on there as well. So check it out. So thank you for being here. Have a fantastic weekend. Be sure to be watching me on Instagram stories for great content like I shared today. And I'll see you next week right here on YouTube.